Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. What a wild day of Team of the Season we have just experienced on FC25. The craziest icon player pick of the year, a cup with some pretty great rewards, and a good player SBC. EA is trying real hard right now to save Team of the Season. And after yesterday, I'm kind of here for it, man. But the market is something that cannot be saved because player prices, including the cards that I bought to probably make some profit, or so I thought, are just continuing to go down. That is what is happening to this market. Now, the trades are looking good. We made some of those coins back, and we'll talk about how we did that and how I think we're all going to be able to do that into this week. But there's also a lot of content to look forward to today on Monday, especially with the upgrade pack grind that I'm at least a little excited for because of the new SBCs we've got. Let's discuss it, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Let's go over yesterday's content, starting with the stuff that really doesn't hit us like some of the other content did yesterday. There was some great content. There was some okay mid content, I guess, and that's here in Evolutions, at least for me. I'm personally not a huge fan of these silver evos at this stage of the game, but I will say there is some silver linings to this. You could take a 74 rated silver, keep them at 74 rated, and put them up to some pretty good stats. 94 pace, 90 pass, 91 dribble for a center attacking mid player. They take you to 5-star. 5-star give good play styles and good roll pluses as well. Of course, the huge stat boost in there, but it's just the majority of the play styles you get are good in here. Even the playstyle regulars, Tiki Taka, Trickster. Of course, you get the finesse pinged and you get the tech plus, which is very good. This is great for potential future evolutions because we've already seen this a few times this year where you can put a silver card into one of these silver evos or a bronze card and you get yourself a 74 rated item with stats way higher than 74 rated, and you can then chain that card into later evolutions. So there's a point to doing those evolutions. It's 10,000 coins. If you find a player from your favorite club, your favorite country, go ahead and get it done. But at this stage, personally for me, I don't know. They just don't hit the same. If I'm doing an Evo right now, hopefully it's got a dynamic image. Maybe that's part of it for me too. The silver cards, the base cards, unless it's a card that I've been evolving since the start of the year, I don't have as much hype with that if it doesn't have a dynamic image since everything else does at this stage of the game. Now, let's go to the SBCs and move straight along into the good stuff where we had yet again another good player SBC yesterday. Now, we had two center backs dropped on the same day. Can I get all the way to the back here? There's so many players out right now. It's kind of hard to filter through them all. We had two, both center backs. Rick Van Drongelen is the first one here, 90 rated. You might be thinking of skipping this SBC, but he's actually worth considering for the cup that we're going to talk about in a minute. Center back and left back, only 90 rated with good stats, 90 defending, physical, and pace, and all the defending play styles, as well as quick step, incisive, and long ball, and relentless, and he's got defender plus. So this is a decent center back. Of course, for his play style pluses, you would have maybe rather had the anticipate or the intercept, or at least one of those, but he does have bruiser, and he's got the other play styles in the base form. This is a super cheap SBC to do for only 84 rated squad. So I actually rate that SBC because of how cheap it is. Now, this is the SBC that I think is actually the good one. Kim Min-jae, Bayern center back here, 6'3". He can only play center back, but that's probably where you'd really want to use him only, right? He is defender plus. He is every single defending playstyle as well with very good playstyle pluses. Jockey, intercept, and anticipate. We don't talk about Jockey Plus a lot, but I used the Davinson Sanchez, who I packed over the weekend for a couple of games, and the Jockey Plus, maybe it's just me seeing the playstyle plus pop up above the player's head in game, so I notice it more. But man, I really notice a good Jockey Plus, and I think that actually makes a difference, especially for a card like Kim Min-jae, who's kind of taller and who usually has lower agility and balance. 88 agility and 90 balance is crazy with Jockey Plus, with those defending stats and playstyles. And this card with the pace, with his body type in game, he's had some pretty meta cards in the past. This is a really, really good center back card. Now, it's coming in at 190,000 coins to get this SBC done. Is that overpriced is the question. Personally, I don't think it is. I think it's reasonable. I think it's craftable. I mean, you just say this is pretty cheap for the player that he is, Bayern, right? You actually have maybe the Hyunmin Son links, I guess, if you want to go that far, if you're doing any Hyunmin Son Evos. I am, so maybe that's just me. But I think that's a great card. Bundesliga links right there. Great stats, great body typing game, as we mentioned. And it is pretty craftable, right? Because it is only 4 squads. It's the 86, 87, 88, and 88. Again, you have a team of the season card or 2. You throw into one of those 88 rated squads. You're throwing in the rest 85, 6s, 7s, and a couple of 88s. And boom, that squad is done. And you're getting all that fodder from your 83 10s and 83 14s and the 85 picks that you're doing each and every day. That is really, really easy to get done. I know there's other center backs that are in packs right now for the team of the season Bundesliga that we've looked at and talked about that are really cheap as well, especially the Schlotterbeck and the Hincapie. Like, Hincapie has very similar stats. You could argue better stats, especially in the dribbling and the dribbling department only, really, for Hincapie. But Kim and Jay's got better playstyle pluses. I think that's a must-do SBC, if I'm being completely honest, with some extra fodder that you have in the club. It's out for 2 weeks. I love that one. So GG's EA, couple of days back-to-back, and really just a weekend with good value player SBCs that actually kind of feel like they mean something and they're worth something at the price they're released at, and then also the players that they are. Now, that was our SBC player content yesterday, but the biggest thing in SBCs is this craziness. The 93 plus. Who in the world expected a 93 plus icon pick? Not me. Nobody was ready for this because icon player picks have been falling behind for so long on this game. We had 90 plus picks last week and we were excited that they were 90 plus and that EA added in Dream Chasers and Foot Birthdays. I even tried a couple. Here we are this week with a 93 plus, the best icon pick of the year. They included the Immortals items in it, the most recent icons. This is like, has that wow factor of like crazy, just because I don't think any of us expected EA to do something like this. Now, of course, with a pack or a player pick this crazy, there's no way EA is going to let it go for just a couple of 89 rated squads, right? No, this is a 9-segment SBC. Yes, that is basically an icon player SBC. 9 segments. Think about that. We've got icon player SBCs in here that are the same price and or cheaper than this. An icon player SBC, 9 squads, 900,000 coins, 919K for this encore player pick, for a 1 of 3 chance at somebody decent, but definitely not guaranteed. Guys, it is a gamble, and that's the one thing you have to preface this with. I think it's actually bad value. Like, it's honestly, there's no question this is bad value, because really, you're gambling away 9 squads of fodder when you could do these squads that we're looking at right here. You could do the Kim and Jay SBC. You could go do like 4 or 5 other player SBCs, or take a huge chunk out of maybe somebody like Frimpong. Actually, you could do Frimpong. Frimpong's only 600K. You could do the entire Frimpong SBC and then a couple of others. Stanway as well. You could probably do most of Ricken. All of those instead of doing the icon player pick. But it's an icon player pick, and it's got a pretty tasty player pool, and it gives you that chance, right? Now, I will say this, and I wanted to start off by saying that it's bad value because I truly believe that it is. But if you've crafted every SBC at the moment that you want to get done, like me, and if you want to just test this out, that's where the curiosity gets the best of us, and that's where the fun on this game and the menus of trying out an SBC like this kind of comes to the forefront. These are all the players that you can get from this. There's a lot of fodder. Honestly, there's a lot of fodder cards in here. Julie Foudy, the Baggio, you look at those cards, like, nah, that's not it. Even Yashin at this stage, 400,000 coin card. Really not who you want from this. There's a lot of other fodder cards too. Even some of the cheaper Thunderstrucks you can get in this, that you're maybe like kind of behind the power curve. You don't want Angerer, of course, Smith, Billy, and Gerard as some of the cheapest ones that you can get from this pack. But it's just a 93 plus, and you look at all the W's in here. You got Bale, you got Eusebio, Pele, R9, Henri, the Rivaldo from Dream Chasers, the Kaká. You even have some full birthday cards like Dino and Vieira that nobody would say no to packing. So that's where the intrigue and the interest with this player pick comes in at, just because the pick is so crazy. Now, I've already tweeted this out. Since I've done the Frimpong, I'm going to do Kim and Jay. We'll get that one finished up. But since I've done the Frimpong and all the other big player SBCs that I want to personally get done this week, I'm going to be doing this player pick. Like, I kind of I set it in stone. I said on Twitter that I was going to be getting this done just because this is something that makes me excited to grind for, even though it's just a split second or a couple seconds of opening a player pick and it's gambling all that fodder away. This is something that makes me want to open upgrade packs this week. This is something that kind of excites me to open packs in the menus, to try to pack TOTS cards and then put that fodder into something. And it gives me kind of like a motivation and a goal and something to like be chasing after. That's what I like about this player pick in the menu grind that we have. And I haven't felt felt like too many SBCs, besides a few that we've had here or there, give me that sort of motivation. So since this pick is so crazy, I'm going to be crafting it this week. If you guys want to do it, I'd probably say that's the best way to do it, is to go out and try to craft it through the upgrade packs. If you've already done all the player SBCs that you want to do, definitely prioritize a player SBC ahead of that. Even though it doesn't seem the most fun thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. Now, you want to know something crazy? Fodder has been minimum price for ages, right? Not anymore. Take a look at some of the 91s and 92s. Guys, fodder went up on the market yesterday. It may be called a miracle after how fodder prices have just been in the absolute gutter for weeks now. 92s went from about 15, 16K up to 19, almost touching 20K for a few of these cards. Even 91 rated Erling Haaland, I think went up like 4 to 5K yesterday. Yeah, he was like 12 to 13K. Now we're looking at 16,000 coins for him. So decent rise there for the 91s to 92s. I mean, decent. Was anybody really investing in that? Maybe a few people were, just because they had the leaks of this 93 plus incoming. There were leaks of this player pick coming out before content yesterday, which was kind of just wild to believe, but it actually happened, right? So honestly, here's what I'll say last thing. GG's to EA for releasing something that I don't think any of us expected on, like, in a good way. That is crazy. Just the player pick, not the price of it, just the player pick itself. Like, that's something I want to test it out. If you're like, Nate, I can't get that done, I don't have the fodder, or I shouldn't do that, just go, watch a couple on Twitter, watch a couple people tweet out what they get from it. There are some definitely L pulls from it, but there's also some pretty good ones. So we're going to try that later on in the week and see what we can end up with. Now, let's go to the TOTS Bundesliga Cup. This was on par, in my opinion, with the Icon player pick yesterday in terms of a surprise, because usually we get cups on Mondays, but when they've been big cups like the Fantasy Fantasy Mycon Cup and the Immortals Maldini, those have been on Sundays, and I like how EA is calling this a cup and not a league, but this is just like the Maldini and the Mycon. This is a league, and I like it, man. Remember about a week ago, we were talking about how mid TOTS was feeling, how bad it was feeling, and what things EA could do to bring some of the hype back. We talked about allowing us, or requiring us rather, to use our team of the season cards that we had in our club that were maybe collecting dust or we felt like had no use, to go get some rewards in a cup mode. Voila, EA, thank you for doing this, because these Maldini Mycon Cup situations, and now the Javi Simons Cup, as we'll probably call this one as well, actually bring some enjoyment for me. Not because it's another game mode that ends up being a little bit sweaty because there's extra rewards on the line and you have to win a certain number of games in a certain number of matches, but it's just a way to use fun, different cards to get some pretty easy packs no matter what skill level you are. There's no stress. There's no requirement for you to feel like you have to get 18 wins. I'm over here as somebody who got Maldini somehow and did not get Mycon. I don't even care if I get Javi Simons. That's a great card for me personally. Would he go into my starting 11 for a few games? Sure. All I want to do is I want to get up here to like 14, 15 wins. Like if I can get 16 wins for that 87 triple, I'm happy, because it's this evolution that I like, and it's these packs that I like for playing a game mode with different players and having some fun in that way and still getting decent rewards through it. That's what I like, and that brings enjoyment to me through Team of the Season with trying out new cards. And the rewards, like we've already mentioned, are really good. You get an 87 times 5 if you complete the whole entire thing. There's also some SP hidden down here at the bottom. You get a 1500 SP for just playing 15 games, and some pretty freaking good player picks, an 86 plus pick, two of those, two 86 plus picks and an 84 plus pick. So just for playing the games, even if you only end up winning, like let's say you play 15 and you win like 5, like that's fine. You still get a nice 83.5, 83.5. Like, you're getting some decent packs there with some free fodder. And then, of course, the higher up you go, the more rewards you get. One of the things that I love the most out of this is this evolution right here, too. Win 11. If you're somebody who thinks that they're not very good at the game, I would challenge you to set this as your goal, because I think you might be able to get this one done. All you have to do is go basically 500. I mean, win one, lose one. If you go through this cup with that record, you'll get this evolution. And this is a +1 upgrade to any Team of the Season card, excluding evolutions, which is a bummer because that'd be sick. But any TOTS player, so a TOTS honorable mentions, a TOTS highlights, or a regular TOTS card that is 93 overall, you give them a straight up +1. Jonathan David is one of the cool cards that fits into this. Imagine making him a 94 and giving him that boost. The Amiga, the SBC, or the SBC card that was crazy during League One, he fits into that one as well. There's some great cards that fit into that evolution, but for me, that's going to be one that I claim and then hold on to. You got Serie A upcoming, you've got La Liga team of the season upcoming. If there's nobody that fits it right now that you're super interested in evolving, definitely wait on that one. Now, let's get into how you make a team for this, because building a squad for this cup is actually it took a little bit of work for me to kind of figure this out. Look, see, I don't even have it done right now at the moment, because there are some kind of special tricks you need to do and things you need to look for when you're building this to create a competitive team, because a competitive team and spending the extra 5 minutes to build out the best, or at least close to the best possible squad you can make, is going to improve your chances a ton. Number one thing I will tell you, for these cups with limited number of games, once again, I feel like I haven't explained this well enough, 25 matches is all you get. This is a limited game mode. It is not golden goal from the community, because it is a 25 max limit, and the actual rules for the game mode is max chemistry. So whatever cards you're putting in, don't worry about chemistry, because they will be on full chem regardless. Like my squad right now is 32 of 33. When you load into the game, it'll be 33 of 33. But again, 25 chances only to get as many wins as you can. Now, when you build this team, it's max 87 rated. You cannot bronze bench, but you need to put 65 rated silver cards on the bench. That is a must. So put 65 rated silver cards on the bench. You can only use 5 players that are 92 and above. So for me, I've got Sonny, I've got Saka, Rabiot, Andre Santos, and I've got Klaus here at right back. Those are my 5 92 plus players. And you have to have 7 team of the season cards. That's the kicker, and that's what I enjoy about this, man. I've been every single week building a TOTS team with players that are from the most recent week of TOTS. Like League One was, of course, first. Last week we did it with Prem. We tried out some of those cards. This week we're going to do it with Bundesliga, and I've been trying those cards out in Rivals. You get to do that in this game mode. Again, it's a little bit limited because you need the lower rated TOTS cards. Like you notice the ones I'm using here. I'm using the 91 Singo. I've got 91 Hato, 90 Tielemans inside of here. I've got a couple 93s with Saka, Rabiot, and Klaus. But that's kind of the formula, I guess you would say, that you need with this. To get an 87 rated squad, you need the silvers on the bench. You need all those TOTS cards to be as low rated as possible, but also as like kind of meta as possible. And you have to have 7 of them. So as you could probably guess, the 92 and below TOTS cards, including a couple of 93s, since you can use a couple of them, are going up on the market. People are looking for the most meta 93s, 2s, 1s, and 90 rated TOTS cards to put into these teams. Jonathan David, 50K, shot up to 96,000 coins. He's actually back down a little bit right now. I could see this card jumping back up into the mid to high 80s, maybe hits 90K, but most of your hype for this cup is going to be early, in my opinion, since it's limited games. Dennis Zakaria from 17,000 coins to 20, he's almost max price at 30K. I've actually got a couple of those on the transfer list, I believe. We'll make some easy profit there. That's a card that is very, very good for this cup mode, because once again, you need those 92 and 91 rated TOTS cards to fulfill the 7 TOTS that you need, but also be in that 92 and below rating, or 91 and below rating of the game, because you can only have 5 cards that are 92 or above. So that's where the tricky part comes in, mixing in the 93 rated TOTS cards with the 91 and below team of the seasons. Like, I think Tielemans, if you have that objective done, Singo is great, this Hato is great, that Zakaria is a really great card as well. And if you're like, Nate, I've turned in all of these cards into SBCs already, because I've already like submitted them into whatever SBC you might have been crafting. There are still objectives that are out right now, and there's still other SBCs. Go get this Christensen card done. This is a perfect card to go get done through the Rush event to get you a 92 rated dude who can play right back or center back for your team. There's plenty of other lower rated SBCs that we've seen here in the past week. Doesn't matter which league it is. Doesn't have to be Bundesliga, even though it's called the Bundesliga Cup. You know, you've got that Pai Chow card who's 92. You've got Classy as a great 90 rated card right here with Intercept, Long Ball, and Anticipate. That's a card you could put into your cup team. Bruno Guimaraes. Just trying to go through this and show you guys that there are plenty of 92, 93 rated TOTS cards in here that you could put into your club. Emblemo, this might be a really good one. The Emblemo, the Damsgaard, and the Wissa. These would be 3 perfect cards because they're all 90 or 92 rated to put into your cup team. So that's kind of how you want to build the team. Use the lower rated team of the seasons, but make sure you still have 5 in there. And then one thing 100% to mention is you got to use those silver cards on the bench. But of course, just looking back on the market, those TOTS cards that are in demand because they're low rated are going up the most. Great time to sell these. Actually, I'm going to go do that right now so I don't forget on the video, because I have myself in here. We've got an Andre Santos, who I believe is like 29,000 coins. We bought him for 15K. And then I have a Zakaria here all the way at the back, who I got to list up. Yeah, see, I got him. I had him listed up at 20,000 coins for a lazy sale. Boom, we're making good coins there. So make sure you go check your club if you have any of those. And also a good thing to do is check FUTBIN. This market drop down tab, click on Index 100. This, if you scroll down, will show you some of the top gainers over the last day. You can see Hato, Zakaria, Jonathan David, some of the cards we've just looked at, especially for the cup. Even some of these 91 ratings, like look at Tarkowski. Tarkowski is 21,000 coins. He's risen up in price. Those are great cards that you can just dip into your club right now and sell, because that's what people are putting into this cup to get their squad figured out. Boom. Same thing there with Baltimore. So definitely check out your clubs right now. Not even just for TOTS cards, but for other cards like 91 rated keeper Tim Howard there. One thing I will mention too is you need a good keeper for that cup mode. So overall, I can understand how people sometimes don't like these gameplay modes. It feels like extra work to do. But honestly, maybe this is a hot take, but I would skip Rivals this week to play this. If you're somebody who feels like you can get 11 or 12 wins out of 25, look at these rewards. You get this evolution, you get a couple of fodder players, but 85 double, 84 5. You're getting a lot of cards in there. The only thing you're not getting is guaranteed TOTS picks. But like this, for that many games, I think that's worth your time. I really do. And I think this game mode, since it is a friendly mode, will be shorter halves. Usually the friendly cups are like 4-minute halves instead of 6-minute halves. So I love this, man, just because it allows us to play with different cards, have fun, try out different players, but also get rewarded for it. That's the best part, right? When you get the rewards and you feel like what you're playing for is actually worth it. So love the packs in there, love the player picks, like the Javi Simons, but I'm most interested in that Evo and then all the packs there and the challenge of trying something fun. So I'll stop yapping about that, but that motivates me as well to like play this game this week for the cup, for the icon player pick with the upgrade pack grind. I'm a fan of that. Now, also what's motivating me right now is the fact that the market is crashing so much, and I lost coins yesterday, and we got to make coins back, right? I bought an Isak yesterday at 1 million coins. Thought it was a great idea. It wasn't, because guess what? The market just kept on crashing. Isak was the card that crashed the most yesterday out of anybody. I picked a great card to buy right here at 1 million coins, thinking that he would bounce back up after dropping a bunch on Saturday. He didn't, though. He kept dropping. With the crazy leak of the 93 icon pick, the cup was known to be coming out, I do believe, before content as well. This Isak card went all the way down to 810 at content, and I saw the cup come out, and I saw the icon pick come out, and I was like, dude, that's too cheap. I don't even care. That's way too cheap. So I picked up 5 of these Isak cards at 810,000 coins and below. About some of them for like $7.99. So we lost about 100K on this first Isak here. This is the one that I bought for 1 million coins. But I bought 5 more Isaks for around 810, which we were ending up able to sell for like 900 to 920K. I still have one left right here. Hopefully going to sell them for right around 900. So we ended up making back about 300K from those 5 Isaks, just a rough estimate. So lost 100, made 300, lost another 100K on these Kirkes, who we bought for like 105 to 110. So we're only up now 100,000 coins of profit. But then we're also picking up some other investments, because with the way the market dropped in the last day or so, I think the content, as we mentioned in yesterday's video, I think the content in the next day or two is going to slow down a bit. And since you have all the crazy stuff on the weekends normally, like how often are we going to get another crazy Evo like the center back Evo we had on Saturday? And of course, the SBCs, the icon player pick, the cup. I think that some of these TOTS cards, after they've had this huge correction in price, are going to come back up a little bit. Premier League TOTS cards, you know, some of the League One, D1 Arkema TOTS cards, there still could be some drops today because there is less gameplay demand for some people's main teams, as there is cup demand for sure. but I still think these cards could be good for quick flip trades, which is why I picked up some Mateus Cunha at about 190,000 coins, because this is a dude that I sold at 220 yesterday, and I think he's a card that could easily be right back up in the matter of a couple of hours today or tomorrow into Wednesday later on this week for like 220, 230,000 coins. So I could be wrong on that trade as well, but as we mentioned in yesterday's video, we thought prices were going to drop more. They did, but there's still opportunities out here for some pretty good fluctuations and some pretty good trades. So I'm looking mostly at out-of-packs cards. Probably right now you don't want to buy a center back, because my goodness, after the Kim Min-jae SBC, after the evolution that we had, center backs are in the freaking gutter. Now, at some point, they're probably going to rebound back up a little bit, because we've seen this a lot before. It's nice to see it. I know I said it yesterday, but it's nice to see content be so good that prices actually kind of crash on the market. It's so nice to see that content's that good that it makes people drop their cards from their teams. But with all this center back content right now that's been hitting, some of these cards for sure, like Gabriel with the stats that he's got, with the hype that he has, are going to rebound back a little bit. But is it going to rebound back enough and soon enough for you to make coins on it? I wouldn't expect to make a ton of coins on center back this week. Maybe like next week we'll be looking to trade with some more of those cards after the hype dies down by the end of this week for the evolution that we got in the SBCs that we got. But I'm trying to stay away from center backs at the moment, except for trading with cards that fit into Evos. Like, you can trade with Evo cards too, guys. Don't forget that those cards are great to trade with. I picked up a Kunde for 400,000 coins. He was a card for the new Evo that looks absolutely insane, and I have not sold him yet, but he's the cheapest one in the market right now. And these cards fluctuate like crazy, especially because they're out of packs. Watch your Evo investments. And speaking of the market and Evo investments, there's one card in particular that just keeps fluctuating in price. This dude you can trade with just about every single day. Mbappe, 170 to 190. Saturday, Mbappe was looking like he was getting pumped up for an evolution. This card at 170,000 coins, he's probably going to go to 200K at some point this week, because OMG Mbappe could fit an evolution type beat, you know? Just watch out for your other 91 rated Evo cards that maybe have not fit an evolution yet. This Neymar is extinct right here. This one is maybe going to be headed there. He's already up in price, so I wouldn't pay this anything above like 1.3 for this. That's what you really want for this Neymar. But other really meta, really hyped 91 rated cards, that's just something to kind of keep an eye on. I type in Puteus, because I'm still really hoping to do a sick Evo for the 91 Player of the Month Puteus personally. But that's just one of the things you could look at for trading this week. And you could still flip the Bundesliga cards. Yesterday, Olise went from 1.4 mil to 1.7. So I'm like, all right, this dude has so much hype. He's going up every single day. I'm buying him. I'm risking flipping a couple of Kimmich as well. I felt like 206,000 coins for Kimmich was pretty cheap. Hopefully he can rebound back up. So we're going to get a little risky with some of the Bundesliga flips today in packs. But I just think right now with how much the market is moving, that just creates great opportunities to trade. Same thing with Ekitike. This dude moves every single day. Can I show you his graph real quick? I know some of you guys are like, Nate, stop yapping about the market. We've already made our coins, or we don't trade or whatever. But Ekitike, Saturday, right? He went from 250, he went up to 280. Not a big rise there, of course. He tanked after that. Yesterday, though, 140 to 190, 200. That's a crazy bounce. And now he's back down, or he was back down at 130,000 coins flat. Hopefully today he can go into the 150s, maybe touch 160. That would be a really good flip right there for a card like him. But if you don't want to risk it, I would go out of packs. I would look at maybe some of the cards from the Eredivisie. I'd look at some of the Prem, League One, or the D1 Arkema cards that you still think could have some movements. Cards that dropped off a ton. I like the lower budget cards because they have to move less for you to make profit. So just be careful of center backs. But that is one thing that I would be watching out for in the market right now, is just some fluctuations that could be pretty good there. Now, let's talk about today on Monday, the SBC and the content that we're going to be looking forward to. I don't think it's going to be as crazy of a day as the weekend. We've kind of already mentioned, but as I've mentioned too, what I look forward to today too is the upgrade pack grind and the premium Bundesliga packs coming, right? Mondays every week, we know what we're getting. We're getting the new premium upgrade packs and the new player picks. The 80+ player pick expires today. We'll have an 81+, hopefully, to replace that. They've been flipping back and forth between the 80 and the 81+, but it's the premium Bundesliga ones that I'm excited for today because I have a clear objective in craft, and that is to get the 93+ icon pick done. And I think that pack hopefully has decent weight this week because how cheap the Bundesliga cards are. I don't think that the Bundesliga TOTS weight is super crazy insane. But again, looking at these cards, they've been super cheap this week. They've been surprisingly cheap after, at least I thought they'd be a bit more expensive. Sure, there are some expensive ones, but I'm kind of excited to grind the upgrade packs this week for those premiums. So make sure you're stocked up on gold rares. Those provisions rare gold packs will be very needed if you're going to open those today to try to craft some upgrades. I think it's at least worth it on the first day of the week when those get dropped on a Monday to at least test out the grind and see if it's worth it for you. I'm going to open this 83 times 7 because I have not opened a pack all weekend and I haven't opened any of these. Dang, that's not a good start. I guess I got to save my pack luck for the stream because that was absolute cheeks from that 83 times 7. But I'm excited to get into that pack upgrade grind today with the premium packs that should be coming out and the new player picks. Now, also today, we're going to expect a player SBC. And with this master list leaked of cards that we still have yet to see, Xhaka we have not seen yet. We have not seen the Showdown. We have not seen Sesko. Most of the other cards other than that are kind of fodder. I mean, as we take a look through this league list, we've also seen a lot of these guys already. The Showdown for me, I think it might be too early for that because I believe that game is upcoming this weekend for Crystal Palace and City, the FA Cup final. I think that would be an SBC more so like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but it could be today, so watch out for that. Watch out for Sesko because we're guaranteed to play SBC every single day. So that is one thing to kind of watch out for. And the last thing to kind of watch out for, again, today would be the last day of the daily login. If you've been keeping up with that every single day, today's day 5, which means we'll be able to get an 85 double and an 87 double. And those are pretty good packs. And yeah, I guess we don't have good pack luck on the YouTube vids, but the pack luck on the streams have been insane. So we're going to keep it to that. Put those fodder cards in the club there, and we will be opening packs today on stream. I'm excited to grind through the upgrade packs. I'm excited to try to pack some blues, get involved with the content from the weekend, get into the cup. I still am behind on Weekend League, haven't played those games. Hopefully get some good rewards. Whew, I got a lot to catch up on, man. And I'm excited to get into that today. So if you want to see us and hang out today and chat, we'll be live streaming here on the YouTube channel. Come back here around an hour before content will be live, or also on the Twitch stream. That link is down below in the description. I appreciate all the love you guys show on the channel, man, watching the videos, especially your comments, the likes, everything. I love reading the comments. You guys, positive, negative, tell me how you're enjoying the game, what you're not enjoying at the moment, coins you made, coins you lost, things you have questions about. Love getting active down there. So I appreciate all your guys' support. I hope you have a great week, and hopefully it is a great week of grinding for Bundesliga Team of the Season with a little bit of something it feels like worth grinding for now released in this game. If you enjoyed this one, though, drop a thumbs up on it, comment up below if you had any questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys in the stream today. Have a great Monday. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.